Very good morning, students. Today we will study the next part of nationalism in India. So we will revise the in few minutes that what we have studied in the last video. In last video we have studied about Rowlatt Act, Rowlatt Satyagraha, and Jallianwala Bagh incident. So there was after Rowlatt Act was passed, Indians were very angry with this that such type of laws are being passed by the British government. Okay, so they peaceful procession they gathered and they were just discussing that how to handle this critical situation and how we can overcome with this such kind of situation created by the Britishers, and small violence took place. And in order to control this, the British government uh, opened fire on Jallianwala Bagh Park, and in that park, many were enjoying the Baisakhi fair, and some were there in order to protest the British government. And this infamous event took place there. Many people were died in this situation, and violence took a big form here now. Now, the members whose family members died in this situation, they were against of Britishers and they were revolting with Britishers, we can say. And in turns, now Britishers got chance to um, punish Indians very badly. They were humiliating Indians. Britishers were humiliating Indians, and Satyagrahis were forced to rub their noses on grounds and do salam to all the sahibs, and they were forced to crawl on the streets. Such kind of situation was there, and seeing this violence situation, Mahatma Gandhi called off the Rowlatt Satyagraha movement. Okay, these things we have discussed in the last video. Today we will start with the Khilafat movement. Okay, then after that we will see the philosophy of non-cooperation movement of Mahatma Gandhi, and what was the problems in this and how it uh, spread in town. These topics we will cover today. So now, seeing the violence of Rowlatt Satyagraha, Mahatma Gandhi was thinking that in order to make successful any kind of movement now, it should be must to cooperate the Muslims and the Hindus. Okay, although the movement was this Rowlatt Satyagraha movement was spreaded at large scale, but it was limited to the towns and cities, means at countryside it was not so popular. So Mahatma Gandhi now decided to launch a movement at broad level. Okay, so, and this can be only possible or this can be only organized in a proper way with the cooperation of Hindus and Muslims. Okay, without their cooperation, this was not could not be done. Okay, so one way of doing, or we can say one way of bringing closer Muslims and Hindus was to take up the Khilafat issue. Now, in order to understand this Khilafat issue, you have to go back in history. Okay, you have to understand about the Khilafat and who was Khalifa. So, listen now that first of all, you have to understand what was Khalifa. Okay, Khalifa was the spiritual head of Islamic world. Islamic means all the Muslims all over the world, and the Muslim people were very much attached to their Khalifa. We can say he was like a guru to them, and all over all over in the world, Muslims' feelings were attached with the Khalifa, and he was also the head of Ottoman Empire. Okay, he was also the head of Ottoman Empire, and he was also the spiritual head of Islamic world. Now, as we know that during the First World War, Ottoman Empire was in the group of Axis powers. Okay, two big powers were there in First World War. One was Axis powers, in which Turkey, Germany, Japan, and Italy were there, and on the other side, Allies powers were there, and in that group, UK, Russia, France, and USA were there. So, as we know that Germany, or we can say Axis powers were defeated in the First World War, and in that group Turkey was, we can say also, was defeated in First World War. And due to this defeat, rumors were spreaded that now Turkey has to uh, go through with the harsh peace treaty. ओके, ये तो हमने पढ़ा ही था कि जो जीतता था उसकी सारी बातें माननी होती थी, जो कंट्रीज, जो पावर्स हारते थे उन सभी की। ठीक है, तो ऐसे ही सिचुएशन आई और ये रूमर्स फैल गए कि अब क्या होगा, अब एक पीस ट्रीटी, एक एग्रीमेंट वी कैन से, या फिर एक नेगोशिएशन होगा, और वो सारी चीज़ें अब माननी पड़ेंगी किसको, खलीफा को, और वी कैन से द हेड ऑफ द स्पिरिचुअल इस्लामिक world. Okay, he has to go through with this. Now, because of this, the sentiments of Muslims were deeply affected. Okay, they felt very bad for such an event or thing. So Mahatma Gandhi thought that this is the right time, that there is a possibility of uniting Muslims and Hindus. Okay, because Muslims were very much angry with this issue of Khilafat. Okay, and Mahatma Gandhi thought that this is the right time to cooperate them and be together with them and launch a national wide movement. Okay, so Khilafat Committee at Bombay in March 1919 held. Okay, and for what, for defending the Khalifa's powers, means all the powers should have, the Khalifa should have, no power should be given or taken from the Khalif. Okay, next thing is that now Mahatma Gandhi ji saw this thing, this event or this incident um, as a way to bring Muslims and Hindus together and form a unified national movement. Okay. So at Calcutta session of Congress in September 1920, Mahatma Gandhi convinced other leaders to start a non-cooperation movement in the support of Khilafat as well as for the Swaraj. So this was the Khilafat movement. Okay. Now next is why non-cooperation. Okay, in this complete topic we will study the we can say philosophy or ideology of Mahatma Gandhi regarding the non-cooperation. Now, in his famous book Hind Swaraj, Mahatma Gandhi declared that British rule was established and survived in India with the cooperation of Indians only. Because if Indians have not cooperated to the Britishers, British rule in India would collapse within a few years. Okay, and Swaraj would have come. He was having such kind of ideology. Okay, next thing is that now we will see that how Mahatma Gandhi framed the non-cooperation movement. This thing we will see. So he thought that the movement should go in various stages. Okay, now first, how that the very first, or we can say the movement, non-cooperation movement will begin with the surrender of all the titles that British government gave to Indians, like awards and boycott means refusal of civil services, army, police, courts, and legislative council, because indirectly Indian people were in large number in all these uh, things, okay, like schools, colleges, and boycott of foreign goods also. Okay, so the very first, the this cooperation movement began with the refusing or refusal for all such things like joining army, police, courts, or boycotting the foreign goods. Okay, next, and they thought that if the government will use their methods to control this, then full civil disobedience campaign will be launched. This was the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. Then, through the summer of 1920, Mahatma Gandhi and Shaukat Ali were extensively helped each other mobilizing or gathered the popular support for the movement. Okay, so whatever Mahatma Gandhi decided, that was successful here. Next thing was that there was a little bit uh, some some challenges were there before the Mahatma Gandhi, because council elections were to be scheduled for November 1920, and the political leaders thought that the violence will be created if they will create non cooperation, they will not cooperate with the Britishers, and they were thinking that in their hand powers will not come, because violence will be there, and due to which no elections will took place, and in this way they will not get the political powers. So many political leaders refused or for joining the non cooperation, but finally in the congress session at Nagpur in December 1920, it was accepted that non cooperation movement will be program will be done. Okay, they also accepted that the non cooperation movement will be launched. So in the next part, now we will see what were the different steps or stages of non cooperation movement, and who participated in this movement, and how people used to conceive people used to conceive the idea of non cooperation movement. Means at in different groups, what kind of ideology people are having regarding the non cooperation movement. These things we will see in the next topic. So today we will discuss up to the movement in the towns. Rest part we will continue in the next video. Okay, so non cooperation Khilafat movement began in January 1921. Okay, and the various social groups participated in the movement, and every social group was having different purpose for this. Okay, many people responded for the Swaraj, but different people were having different meaning of Swaraj for them. This thing will be clear after reading this complete topic. So let's start the movement in the towns. In this we will see how the movement spreaded in towns, what kind of reaction was there of the movement, what was the limitations of the movement in towns. Okay, and who participated mainly in towns. All these things we will see in this topic. Okay, so the movement started with the middle class participation in the cities. Like middle class was the main participator here. Okay, the main role was played by the middle class in cities, and thousands of students were there who left government controlled schools, colleges, headmasters, and teachers also resigned, and lawyers gave up their legal practice. Such kind of steps were taken in cities regarding the non cooperation, and the council election was boycotted in most province except Madras. Okay, now one be attentive. One thing you have to be clear with this, that at many different places the council elections were boycotted. Okay, means political leaders at many places were in favor of non-cooperation, and they decided to boycott that not no elections will take place. But only at Madras, where the Justice Party was there, and it was consist of non-Brahmins. But only in Madras they were saying that elections will took place, although they were cooperating in non-cooperation, but they were saying that elections have to be taken place. The reason behind this was that it was consist of non-Brahmins, and they thought that only after elections they will have some powers, because earlier, as we know, that in our country different ones were there, and Brahmins were at the highest position, and these Justice Party leaders were thinking that this party was consist of non-Brahmins, and they were thinking that this is the only time that we can get powers when election have to election should take place, because if elections will not take place, they will not get powers. So this was the reason. But these people were in favor of non-cooperation movement. You should remember this. Next, if we talk about the economic effect of non-cooperation movement in towns, was that foreign goods were boycotted, liquor shops were picketed. मीन्स अगर पिकेटेड का मतलब होता है, अगर कोई ऑफिस है, शॉप है, फैक्ट्री है, उसको ओपन अगर करेंगे तो उसके सामने लोग डेमोस्ट्रेशंस करेंगे, ओके, सीन क्रिएट करेंगे. दिस इज़ नोन एज इन ऑर्डर टू स्टॉप दैट, ओके, कि बंद ही रखो उसको. और फॉरेन क्लोथ्स को हर जगह इकट्ठे कर कर जला दिया जाता था. सच काइंड ऑफ बॉन फायर्स वर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड, and it resulted that the import of foreign clothes halved between 1921 and 1922. और इस टाइम पीरियड में जो फॉरेन गुड्स हम इंपोर्ट कर रहे थे ब्रिटेन से, वो हाफ हो गए थे. जैसे कि ₹10 करोड़ थे वो, और इस एक साल में कितने हो गए थे फिर आकर 57 करोड़. And in many places merchants and traders refused to trade in foreign goods and finance foreign trade. This was the situation of economic front due to the non-cooperation movement, and this movement spread and people began discarding or refusing imported clothes and start wearing the Indian clothes, and production of Indian textile mills and handlooms went up because we were not using foreign goods anymore. Okay, so now the third thing is that if we talk about some limitations of non-cooperation movements in towns, where the first thing was that this movement after sometimes slowed down in cities. Okay, earlier it was a very big movement, but later it went down. Second was that khadi clothes was very expensive, and people were not having money, or they were poor, and they were not they could not afford to buy it. So how long the people used to wear the khadi cloth? This was the second limitation. And third limitation was that there were no alternative Indian institutions, means all the schools and colleges were British owned, no Indian institutions were there. So how long the people could sit at home? People were sitting at home and they were just not doing anything. So in order to having no option in order of having no option, they joined the British institutions again, and they went back to government. Students and teachers went back to government schools. Lawyers also joined their government courts. The one thing you have to remember in this, that these were the three limitations, and everything was under the control of Britishers. Okay, government buildings were, government offices were, administration was, schools and colleges. And for how long the people can boycott these? Okay, कब तक वो ऐसा करते? तो विदाउट मतलब मजबूरी में उन लोगों को क्या करना पड़ा, वापस से वर्क पर जाना पड़ा. तो these were the three limitations. Study the topic well. Okay, go through the topics we have discussed today, and it is very interesting to know about the Indian history. Okay, in the next video we will discuss about the rebellion in the countryside. Okay, what was the scenario of non-cooperation movement in rural areas or countryside, we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.